And so Joshua chapter 5, and I'll read verse 13 through 15. And it came to pass, who likes that phrase? When Joshua was by Jericho, this is a fortified city. This thing cannot even be penetrated. He's by Jericho. He lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a man stood opposite him, or across from him, with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went to him and said to him, "Are you for us or for our adversaries?" So he said, basically, neither. But as commander of the army of the Lord, I have now come. This is Jesus. This is a Christophany. This is Jesus alive in front of Joshua, about to go to battle. And the reason I know it's Jesus, he worshiped him as the Lord. Usually when someone would worship an angel, the angel would say, "Get up, don't worship me." But this was Jesus. Jesus has a sword. And Joshua pulls his sword on Jesus. I see that a lot in Christianity. People don't recognize Jesus. And he said, "Who are you?" So also, he didn't know it was Jesus. And then he said, "Are you with us or our adversary?" And people don't even know sometimes whose side the Lord is on. That's kind of confusing right there. But you understand, it's pretty typical with all of us. He's standing before something that's bigger than what he is. And the Lord said, "I'm going to give you the victory." And so maybe his faith was just wavering a little bit. Does that happen to some people in here sometimes? That the thing that God is telling you is so much bigger than what you are and who you are, you kind of scratching your head thinking, how is he going to do this? And I'm sure Joshua is thinking, "Lord, how are you going to do this?" Because he guarantees him the victory. He said, "Take off your sandals. Take the sandals off of your feet, for this is holy ground." And when I read that, I realized God was wanting Joshua to totally surrender his life to him. Taking off your sandals represents total, complete surrender. And so listen, if you're up against something this morning, you just need to surrender to the Lord. Because if you're up against it, in your mind, it is bigger than what you are. And so you need to submit to the Lord and know that the Lord is for you and not against you. If God is for you, who in the world can be against you? If God is for you, what in the world can stop you? Nothing. So what did Joshua do? He took off his sandals and he submitted. And when he submitted, the Lord gave him a strategy. You understand? For us to get the promise, for us to get the reward, for us to get what God said we can have, we have to accept his way of doing it. There's a process to the promise. We all love the promise, but we don't like the process. And God is more in the process than he's in the promise, because if you get the promise before you get the process right, you won't maintain or hold the promise. I think I got a few ears hearing me today.